What's going on, hussies? So, if you missed my last video, what we're about to talk about, Jordan from Wicked City, is actually part of a bigger video that I did once, but I split it into two. So, I'm going to link the first part of the video somewhere here. I don't know. I'm going to link it somewhere. You'll be able to find it. And then you can go back. You can kind of, I'm not 100% sure yet if I'm going to put Jordan's like history into this part of into this video, or if I'm going to leave it there. I'm not 100% sure. I think it would probably make more sense to put it here, but just in case I don't do it, I just want to tell you why. And before we get started, I do just want to take a moment to shout out my lovely patrons on Patreon. Thank you so much for being here for me. Thank you so much for supporting me. Thank you for just loving on me, for sending me love, and for making me feel so loved. I will see you guys after the video. So Jordan Davis is a witch who has the power to sense magic. So she's able to sense power levels. She's able to sense other people around her who have magic. And it kind of frustrates her because she's always able to sense how powerful other people are. She's able to sense this like gathering magic from around, but she feels like she doesn't have access to that kind of power, and she feels like she doesn't contribute anything to their coven, even though her friends are constantly trying to reassure her and tell her, Jordan, girl, you are good. Just relax. The power is going to come. And that it does, but not not for my girl trying to force it. Now, as the series continues, we see Jordan's powers grow into visions. She has visions while she's sleeping. She has prophetic dreams. And she also has the ability to go into a trance-like state where she draws. And she doesn't have the natural ability to draw, but when she goes into that state, that's what she does. Like, that's how the power manifests, so she can put her vision or what she's seeing on paper. But before we get to that, in season 1, Jordan is actually trying to call for more power. She's trying to petition the ancestors for more power. So she's asking her friends, like, can you help me? Tabitha, who is their mentor, is telling her, girl, no, you need to leave that alone because you can't force magic. Her friends are telling her, like, hey, baby, the spirits are not happy that you're trying to force magic.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm. The magic is not happy.
And Jordan's quest for magic and her need to get more, and not in a selfish way, but her need to get more power is actually kind of the starting point for the series, because she enlists the help of someone named Camille, who is a newcomer in the group, who also has her own mystery unfolding. And that is the catalyst for the main story of season 1, which I will not spoil for you because, I mean, you just need to go watch it. I love my Jordan Davis down. I love my girl to shreds. I love my girl to shreds. Jordan is a character that I truly have to see her from a certain lens, because her actions are actually what get the story started. And that's not from like a theorizing viewpoint. That's not from like a, well, technically no, Jordan's actions actually do kickstart the main conflict of season 1. And so from that respect, it's kind of hard sometimes to justify liking my girl. If like when people say she's annoying, because that tends to be the thing that I hear all the time. Jordan's annoying, she does too much, she's this, she that. And the thing is, yeah, Jordan does a lot. She does do a lot. But I think that that's what makes her character probably one of the most relatable on the show. Jordan is a character who just wants to be loved. Jordan is a character who wants to feel useful. And just like Charisse, she loves her friends down. And she will do whatever she can to make sure that they're safe, make sure they're okay. And for her, she thinks that that's having more power. So she's on the opposite end from Charisse, where Charisse has this really almost like dangerous power, and she just is having to rein it in, where Jordan feels like she doesn't have enough power. She doesn't have something that can actually be useful. Now, like we said before, Jordan can sense power. So that must be a whole other layer to how she's feeling, Because imagine going around constantly sensing how powerful the people are around you. You're constantly being able to feel the magic vibrating off of them. You're constantly being able to see how their magic ebbs and flows, and how it can become dangerous if they become too emotional, or this or that, how it affects the world around them. But your power is literally just to feel that. Now, Jordan is a character too that reminds me a lot of the character Phoebe Halliwell from Charmed, because Phoebe has premonitions, and people think that, like, oh, the premonitions are weak, oh, the premonitions are just useless, she's just there, things like that. When in reality, the premonitions were saving them literally from season 1, episode 1. And Jordan is a lot of the same to me, where, baby, in case of an emergency, I want the woman that can sense the magic, child. If there is someone that's coming at me and I don't know where they are, but suddenly the person who can sense magic is telling me, like, hey, there is some powerful magic somewhere around here, that's my indication that it's time to go. Baby, we need to hightail it up out of here or something. But Jordan can't really see that, because she ties her usefulness to what she's able to bring to the coven magically, because she thinks that everyone else is in a different league than her. Now, the main reason that I say Jordan's actions actually kickstart season 1 is because Jordan is seeking more magic, which does something which results in them having to use death magic as a coven, which attracts Claudette, which attracts the handler. So it's like everything that has happened in season 1, every conflict, every big whatever, stems from the fact that Jordan wants to get more magic. But like I said, I think it's really important to remember with Jordan that she's tying her usefulness to the magical ability that she feels like she doesn't have. So it's not even necessarily that she's seeking more power. She's literally seeking validation that she can be useful to this coven, that she deserves to be here like everyone else. And as her powers begin to grow, she still doesn't really take the opportunity to stop and say, oh, I really am useful right now, because she doesn't think about it in that way. She's thinking from terms of, like, this is the least I can do. Everything that she does in her mind is the least she can do. Oh, I'm starting to have prophetic dreams and I'm telling people what's happening. That's the least I can do. At least I can do that now. I'm starting to draw these things that I can see, and hopefully it can be some kind of a hint. It's still not enough, because I'm not able to take us specifically to where we need to go to save Charisse. So everything about Jordan always comes back to, if I just could, if I could just. And she's never able to see how what she has in that moment is truly affecting her and giving her the ability to be probably one of the most useful parts of her coven. And because Jordan is very chipper, because Jordan is she tries to stay positive, I feel like when she goes off, she goes off. And so she almost goes off the rails, because she gets so angry and she's not used to expressing that anger. She's used to being the friendly one, the chipper one. So when she gets upset and she gets mad because of the things that are happening around her, it almost comes off like, girl, who you screaming at? Why are you talking like this? Why are you whatever? But she has pent up anger because she doesn't deal with the things that upset her. And she's so used to constantly trying to look for validation and seek outward validation and external validation, that she doesn't take the moment to say, this is how I'm feeling and this is how I'm going to deal with it. So then in season 2, when we have Darlitra join forces with them, I'm not going to say join the coven at first, but join forces with them, she is adamant that she's not going to let that happen, because this person was involved in taking Tabitha away from them. She relents because she doesn't want that conflict with Angela, especially because Mona's gone, especially because Tabitha's gone, Charisse is gone. So they're all they have left at that point. And she's just trying to hold on to that last little piece of normalcy, of happiness, and that's in Angela. But she also knows, I am horribly upset about this. Another layer of Jordan's character that's so relatable, not just to me, but I feel like to other people, is constantly putting yourself and your emotions down, because you're trying to make these other people happy, and you're constantly trying to make everyone else around you comfortable. But then when you go off the rails because you've been upset about this for 8 months, and no one asked you if you were, and you weren't able to express it because people looked at you like you were crazy. Now they really looking at you like you crazy, and now you're the bad guy. So when it comes to her, I just always get this need to be very protective. I just want to hug her. I just want to let her know, like, girl, we all make mistakes. You know, like Jordan and Charisse are two characters that I just always want to hug and say, girl, we all make mistakes. You know, and they just these two characters are so near and dear to my heart. But anyway, child, listen. That was not a short video, baby. I thought that was gonna be short. By the time I got done talking, these two characters, I'm telling you, like they hold such a big place in my heart. And I just want to acknowledge them in some kind of way because not only are they amazing, but the way that their actresses, Chanel Mack and Shaquita Smith, bring them to life, it just makes them people to me. And they don't feel like characters that I'm seeing on the screen. They literally seem like people that I know in my everyday life. And if you want to check out my interviews with Chanel Mack and with Shaquita Smith, then please feel free to check out my podcast, Mr. G Reviews. And you can also find them here on YouTube. They're in a playlist. So if you go to my playlist, then you'll see it. It's probably on like the home page of my page. So for a little bit of behind the scenes and also just to see what their experience playing these characters was like. So y'all, with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up today's episode. If you like what you see, you want to video me, then go ahead, hit the like button, hit subscribe, and just hit the little notification bell so you can come back whenever I post something. And as always, I want to give a quick shout out to my patrons. I want to say thank you so much for supporting me, supporting the channel. This was made possible by viewers like you. You or someone that you know would like to support me on Patreon, please feel free to mosey on over to patreon.com/powerofg. We have different tiers and you can find all the information on what those tiers give you there. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get on up out of here. I will see you hussies in the next video.